Hey guys, this is DFD, aka Dark Frozen Depths, and this is another Echocalypse video. Now, this is the second video I've done on this, and also, I have been playing this game for like, basically 9 days, almost 10 because it's about to reset, so, yeah, this game is, in a sense, still fairly new to me, but I have a very good grasp of the mechanics because of another game I played called Rebless Zwei. So, take my opinions how you want with that one. Because on one hand, I have experience with a lot of these type of systems. On the other hand, I don't have experience with this game specifically. So that's up to you. In fact, at the end of the video, I'm going to have basically some gameplay of Rebless, and then I'll have gameplay of this, and you can compare the two. But, and then on top of that too, it's going to generally try to be the same type of content where you basically see, the same exact type of fight from that. It ended up being one of the syndicate fights. And generally that's the whole thing about this video. It's comparing the two things, like just from my opinions and experiences, but comparing the two things and basically giving people a little bit of a heads up, because there's a lot of people that's like new to this game and they're like, oh, why is it so grindy? Why is it this way? Why is it that way? It's a lot of this stuff is modeled the same exact way off of another game called Rebless. So let's start off with the obvious thing, which would be the cases and the whole thing with that. So, and I'm not exactly going to show everything on here, but just to show some stuff. But right now I'm kind of like trying to make a good bit of a push towards a couple characters being level 50 so I can get their stuff. Why, you may ask? Because that's where this little thing comes in, the augments. The augments is going to be grindy. As you can see, I got some level 50 stuff right here already. But the augments are going to be grindy, and you're going to want to try and grind a crap ton of materials for that type of stuff. So, yeah, that's a pretty big heads up for that as well. And this is going to be the biggest time gate right here, because level gate too, because of the fact you gotta level up in order to do it. I'm already seeing a little bit of a level gate right here. But generally, you're going to end up grinding for these little specific materials and all that, and you have to keep searching for all of them as well. So that's something to know. But as you can see, if I try to go and attack and just hit this, there you go. It gives me the drop right there. Some extra stuff too. This AP is going to be your main focus. That's why I'm kind of like using it right now on camera. And I'm going to need multiple of these materials anyway, so I'm going to grind out quite a bit of them. I need 29 right now. I'm not surprised if that crap ends up hitting like 60, 70, 80, 90 just for one part of the rank up. So that's going to be the most annoying thing when it comes to getting your characters upgraded, because you'll end up getting this other stuff too. Like, I'll go to Pan for example. You'll end up getting this other stuff too, these little level up modules and all that. It might seem like you don't have that many now, but it'll probably stack up on you a lot as you further progress. So I wouldn't be surprised, because then you'll be stuck on a level so much trying to like get the permission level up, and then all of a sudden you have like a crap ton of these. That's why I'm not worrying too much about these little level up modules, because it'll probably catch up just like it did in Rebless. But these support skills is star based, so that's something to know. If you want some extra bonus stats off of these, you're going to need to star up people, and that means getting duplicates. The duplicates are a little bit more generous than Rebless, because of the fact that Rebless wanted you to get like a good 30, 40 different duplicates, and this is of the higher rarity characters, in order to get them to go up in stars. That took forever. But the stars also up your abilities too. So for example, if I get Pan to 3 stars, this is going to up her shield to be 14% instead of 12% of her HP. So there's that. And then on top of that too, I'd have to go to squad for this, because this is the squad I'm using basically. And I'll get to that in a second too. But the equipment system's pretty much the same, where it's like, okay, every 10 levels on your combat gear, like the specific combat gear right here that got like level 90 plus on the screen. But every 10 levels of that's going to give you a bonus. You got set effects on that. The chimeras is basically like the accessories from Rebless, while the combat gear is like the armor. But the combat gear also kind of works like the weapons too, and I'll explain that. That's something where they did it a little bit different. But this generally is going to give you like stat bonuses, and these had set effects too on Rebless, so that's something to know. Like having the 2 chimeras. I don't know if it's on the SSR one, but that's something that's you should be worried about too, having to upgrade all of these as well. That's the general thing between both games. You had to upgrade everything. You literally had to do everything as much as possible, upgrade everything as much as possible. Both games were not for the impatient. They were for people that can patiently grind, waiting for a long time for this stuff. Even if you spend, I spent $30 on this game. Sorry for that, but I spent $30 on this game. That is not that much, but it's still a patient grind regardless. People have probably spent hundreds of thousands, still had to grind some way, somehow. And a lot of it is to get the materials for this crap to upgrade it, because even though you get the higher rarity stuff, you're going to have to spend so much time to do it. My opinion, you're better off not even spending unless you get something very reasonable out of it. And that would be this type of stuff right here, where if I go into the if I like go into the mall and there's like these little contracts right here, like these aren't all that great, but there's a different type of I think it's under event. Like those contracts, it all depends, but yeah, it's under event, and it's like, okay, expedition funds, those are probably good to get because they give you a crap ton of pulls as you clear chapters and all that. I'm like chapter 32, I do believe, right now. But I'm kind of like holding myself back a little bit just because of the fact that I'm trying to like grind up material so everybody can like rank up whenever by the time I'm ready to try and get the next rank up stuff, which will probably take me level 55 in order to do that. So I did manage to get the Abyss one though, and I've blown through kilometer 24. I'm stuck at 36 right now because of that HP thing. But yeah, it's like these are probably worth it if you are going to spend. So there's that. Also the mining contract too, because you get free stuff every day, but I didn't get that. What I got was I got the collector's pass because I wanted this outfit. Because I'm not really using her that much unless it's like on a Bifrost lock thing, like the one of the little content things I'll show you. Well, not show me playing, but you get what I mean. But I did that to unlock the second layer, because I didn't even bother getting the bigger version, because the bigger version will give you like some extra stuff right here, but I don't care about it too much. And I mean, it would give me a lot more mission points, but still. But that's the whole thing with that. It's like, there's some things that are worth spending, some things that aren't, but even if you're a free player, even if you're a paying player, you will be grinding upon grinding upon grinding, because the Neolith thing is also like the I forgot what it was called in Rebless, but it's the same exact thing with those, where it's like, okay, you get a special thing that comes out of, I think it was like a combination attack thing they did with Rebless, but you needed specific characters to unlock certain ones. This one you just get the shards and just level them up, period, point blank. But I haven't even gotten any of these yet, so, and I mean, I am working on it. I mean, you see I got like 23 missile things right there, but that's the thing, those are like the special combination attacks that come out mid-fight after you've attacked enough. But Rebless, they weren't as frequent, and then your enemies didn't use them either, only other players. So there's that. I ended up doing most of this arms race thing, pulling this. I am so short of this right here, and that kind of bugs me out because it's about to expire. Like, this is about to go away, and I'm missing out on these 10 because I'm short by like 10 points, but oh well. But that's the whole thing with that. It's like the Neolith is kind of like that. The combat gear is kind of like the armor from Rebless. With the this thing upping specific skills being the weapons, they kind of worked like the armor and Rebless as well, but the armor only gave you a massive stat boost. It didn't really like modify the skills. So there's that. They still had an affection system in both, but the affections give stats in this. It didn't give it in Rebless. Also, Syndicate, I'm not going to go into it right now, but like I said, it's going to be at the end of the video where I do a fight of that, because I'll do a recording of that and put it at the end. But Syndicate, it was basically like a Union and Rebless. You go in there, you get some stat bonuses, or in this case, damage bonuses for Echocalypse. Rebless gave you like flat stat increases, but Echocalypse gives you damage bonuses. So same thing basically. You go in, there's specific like raid fights in there, and then on top of that, they got their own little like storyline progression type stages, but it's not really storyline. It's more like extra battles where you get some extra stuff. You beat all 4 of those, you move on to the next one, and you're supposed to work together on that. Enemies have so much inflated HP that you're not going to take them out alone unless you're like some sort of Giga Whale. I won't even say Space Whale, like beyond that. But there's that. Control. Like, this Shadows of the Sentinel thing was kind of like, reminds me of the whole fairy system from Rebless. Only fairies were equipable things that also give you guessed it, stat boost. But Shadows of the Sentinels is different though. It's like the same concept where it's like a map thing where you go across to fight other people and everything. And it's like an occupation type system. But it's more active with Shadows of the Sentinels. Like, you literally do have to pay attention to other players moving around the map and trying to attack different things as well, because you can see that. But the concept is more or less the same. Cage fight, player versus player type stuff. Only Rebless didn't force you to go into like the top 100 just for the beginner missions. It is honestly a little bit difficult to get into the top 100 if you're not playing this game sooner than other people. Like me, I managed to like get a grasp of the systems and progress quite enough to where I could get into the top 100 in the cage fight. I don't care if I go any further, even though there's missions for it. Because some of the missions, and they did this in Rebless as well, but some of the permanent missions want you to be like rank 1. Good luck. I don't care about that. I just want to get my cage points. Hopefully by winning, but you can't really do that. But I just want to get my cage points to where I just basically get in there. The thing where Rebless is a little bit better than this at that was Rebless, they didn't give you a bonus for winning the fight. You just got the same rewards. This one, you have to win the cage fights in order to get like an extra thing at the end where you pick one of the rewards. So Rebless is a little bit better on that regard. Abyssal Dab is the same thing as Tower with Rebless. You hop in, you get bonuses for like every few like fights you do, and so on and so forth. These are the bonuses I currently have now, but they're going to vanish. I skipped ahead to the top of the tower just to see, well, in this case, bottom of the abyss as far as I can go. But I skipped ahead on that one just to see what it's like and see what it randomly tosses me. I don't like this because there's some stuff here I wouldn't even care about getting, because ultimately, when it comes to this, what helped me get much further was getting HP bonus, because enemies start hitting you like crazy and you really need as much health as possible. Trying to get my crit strength up, trying to get my crit rate up, trying to get my damage bonus up, trying to get my attack bonus up. Defense is not even needed at all. Good luck even trying to survive crap. Block, unless you can get a lot of block rate and block strength, there is no point. Dodge might be helpful, damage reduction might be helpful, but it's like, and then block reduction is that prevent enemies from blocking. That might actually help you out a bit. But the fusion stuff, maybe not, because from what I'm seeing, the fusion stuff is still based off your own basic stats from your character, so I'd rather get a general overall increase from the case bonus. So, and this is the stuff I figured out just by playing around with this too. But it's still the same thing with Rebless as well. It's like you go in there and you do certain amount of fights, and then you'll be able to like go in there and get stars. But I can't go in and show this. I've done 35 km and earlier with the hardest difficulty. So I can skip right to 36, but I'm stuck at 36 because I can't survive that fight, because the second your total team HP drops below half, they kick you out. It wasn't like that with Rebless. You had a chance to heal yourself back up and actually pass the mission at the end of it. This one is like the second you're below 50, goodbye. But Harvest you're going to probably do daily as well. This is where you get your stuff in order to upgrade your characters and all that too. So enough said. It was the same case with Rebless, only they had like 8 of them instead of just the 2 instead of just like Harvest being like 4 of them. And then there's only like 2 that's open all the time. Some of these shift around. Rebless had like at least 4 of them open at all times. And Host Purification was a raid thing, but what made it different in this game compared to Rebless, Host Purification seems to be server wide. And I don't even really care about doing any of this right now. But Host Purification seemed to be server wide. In Rebless, this was like Union only. So when you did stages, you had a chance of the Union actually doing that. So if this was the same case in here, then it would be a Syndicate only thing, and it wouldn't be something where it's like, it seems like it's server wide, because you can get friends and all that in on that one. Desperate Operation, basically the same thing as Rebless, where you get the accessory type things from it. They call them chimeras in this. Only in this case, you're actually working together with other players. Rebless had you go against other players in order to do it. You had to fight them in order to get fragments in order to make the accessories. And then collect enough of the fragments, you get the accessory. And then Chimera Contract, this is something that Rebless didn't have. Because Rebless had something different, where they end up getting these like equipable dragons or something like that, or monsters you can summon, and you had to like do some little like progression type thing with that too, but nowhere near as intense on this one, because this one is just like 4 zones and there's crap tons of floors and all that. This seems more closer to some other games that have been played, not Rebless, but it's something I've still seen before, so again, I'm kind of used to it. But there ain't nothing I can do with that one either. The way they did the storyline is also a little bit different compared to Rebless, because now the regression is something completely different. It's like extra sad stories or whatever. That kind of reminds me of Epic 7 a little bit. But that's where you get your character shards. They had the character shards literally like if they were like part of Rebless or something, because one version had it and one version didn't. But they were like integrated literally in the storyline. So it's like, okay, I can go back to here. And then it's the same typical thing. It's like every few fights you'll face a boss, and then you'll get these little chest things right here, which I basically already claimed. And then 30 stars, you move on. There you go. And then Rebless also had this thing too, where it's like, okay, get X amount of stars, get some extra stuff. So, and I'm like hard pushing for Chiraha to try and get as many copies as possible, because I'm trying to get like her at least 6 star. I doubt I'll get 7th, but I've got a good shot at a 6 star, since I still only need like 2 more copies, and there's like still a week left of this thing. But that's the biggest elephant in the room too, how they did this, because I like how they did it on this one. It was a lot harsher on Rebless, because with this one, some people are complaining about the fact that it's like, okay, hard pity is like 250 pulls, because okay, you hit this draw weight, 50 pulls, guaranteed SSR. If you failed 4 times, you will get them on the 5th one. The 5th time an SSR pops up. And it like slightly increases the chances the more you do it. So that 3% will creep up from 3% closer and closer to a guaranteed chance. But the thing with this that's different from Rebless, the advanced draw, you can pick anybody you own and give them basically a smaller but still rate up in a way. So it's like if you got like a limited character, you can ignore their limited banner once you pull them at least once. So if you're making a point to try and get every single character at least once, this will help you when trying to go back and upgrade them. So that's something that they got over Rebless. However, something they made more convoluted than Rebless is this other stuff, because the daily pools are part of the premium advanced banner or whatever in Rebless. This one's a completely separate thing with tickets. The Neolith wasn't a summon thing on there. Neolith, you had a completely separate content where you grinded for that type of stuff. They made it basically pools only on this. So there's that. And I mean, the purification is how you get some Neolith stuff too, but it's super slow compared to Rebless. Because if it was Rebless, well, to be fair, Rebless would have gave you like way more stuff, because if it was in Rebless, the Neolith thing would have been like 10 times more, basically. Like close to 10 times more, but still. Like, they made that a pool banner. And the arms thing is something completely different too. This is like basically your character weapons, more or less. But that wasn't a Rebless at all either. So they made that a little bit more convoluted. And then another interesting thing too is the fact that, like, when it came to this whole storehouse thing as well, that I've seen with some of this stuff, like, I started noticing that there's a few things that they had, like, Rebless didn't have, where they didn't have stuff like this, where you're, like, locked from upgrading the Neoliths because you don't have enough of this material on top of, say, like, other materials like this one. There's these things, too, where it's like, okay, you can synthesize Neoliths with this and this, like, they made it a little bit more convoluted, if you want to be honest. So yeah, that's a thing. But and then there's the events too. Like, the events are completely different, because the events for Rebless were integrated into just normal gameplay. They weren't their own separate little thing, like going here and doing all this stuff right here. So that's generally like a few comparisons between this and Rebless. But the things I want to point out though, Rebless isn't live anymore, because it went down. It was on DMM and Nutaku, and the game, like, I think it went down like half a year ago, or somewhere around that time frame at the time of this video. But me personally, I don't think Rebless is bad. It just left the wrong type of impression, because the same case with this game, like, the systems function, but you have to be super ultra patient, and not everybody's going to have that. But in the case of, like, in the case of Rebless though, like, you can tell that there's going to be a power creep on this game, period, point blank, because I'm at like almost 1 million power. Some people have like 5 million, and they're doing like crap tons of damage. Like, the highest damage I've seen so far from any of my characters came from Abyss, and that was like 300, 400,000. There's people that managed to get 150 million. Those are rookie numbers compared to Rebless. Like I said, go to the end of the video and look at how Rebless plays compared to this game. You will see the insane numbers that you're doing just normally in Rebless, which would be like billions easily. And that's just normal hits. The specials go even further. But the other thing that I do believe killed Rebless was a little bit of rank or rarity inflation, because first off, you're level gated on both of these games for a lot of its content. I suspect that you'll unlock all the stuff for this game either by like level 60 or level 80. I suspect that, but I'm not entirely sure. I may have already unlocked all of it. But Rebless, you need a level 120 to unlock basically everything. But then also, like, notice how I said there's stuff where it's like R, SSR, SR, and rarity, if you even care. Rebless had, and I'm saying this like slowly so you can like pay attention to it. Rebless had N rarity, HN rarity, R, SR, SSR, LR, UR, MR, SP had all those rarities. Everything in the game basically had up to MR rarity. Some things had SP rarity, which was basically only characters by the time it died. That was insane. And each rarity was like 3 to 5 times stronger than the previous one. There was literally no point in using a previous rarity if you had a higher one. And it was some massive inflation thing. Even like coming up with the squad thing. Like, when you set up your squads and with the deployment and get the leader bonuses and all that type of stuff, first off, this is where Echocalypse made it a little bit more complicated than Rebless. Rebless, you just had to own the characters, and you basically got the links. This one, you have to literally put your link characters in this assist in order to actually get the links for it. But they both had this leader buff thing. And I got like 6 SSR leaders, and I tried to use this for a stat boost. I may change this team later down the line, but for right now, this is what's helping me out with survival. Plus, they have a good synergy together anyways, because I got like 3 characters that can cause burns, and 2 characters that's doing defensive stuff, with Raha doing some backup healing just in case. But and then Star is actually a surprisingly good nuke for me. I mean, it could be because she's 3 stars, but she's a surprisingly good nuke for me, and then she's nuking more frequently than everybody else anyway, so... And she'll just get even faster when I get her stronger. But that's the whole thing. There's a whole bunch of team synergy stuff. I got 6 East Rise characters, that's why I'm getting all this type of stuff. Now, in Rebless, it'd be like, okay, I need 6 demons, but it went up to LR for that one. Anybody that was UR or above, it didn't matter, because they would just give you the leader buff regardless. So that's why there's only like 6 UR characters, 6 MR. I guess they were planning for 6 SP characters, but we only got 3 of them by the time it died. Only the buff went way past 6 with Rebless. You can get like okay, your leader buff thing would count as like worth 100 and something different characters by the time you got the highest rarities. Like, it was nuts. It was insane. And I do believe that's one of the things that killed Rebless, the rarity inflation. I'm hoping this game doesn't go through all that type of mess, but honestly, it may have its own can of worms, because a lot of people aren't happy with how the game is. But, I hate to say it, but that's more of a case of them not having the patience for it, because the systems are fine, you just need to have patience to do all that, and it's understandable if you don't want to go through it. Everybody's got their own opinions. I'm not knocking anybody's opinions, but I am saying it's like, you gotta know what you're getting into. And that's part of the reason why I did this video. I just tried to like explain, okay, Rebless had these systems, this game has these same systems, I'm already seeing where this is going, you need to have patience with this game. I'm not trying to say anything about who's meta or what, because there's varying opinions on all that. Some people say DPS is meta in this game. Honestly, you need to set up for the DPS, because I've seen videos on that type of stuff. You don't get the DPS by throwing everybody that hits hard. You need to have buffers and debuffers and all that sort of stuff. Same case in Rebless. Even though I had to get the higher rarity characters for that type of stuff, they still were lined up with specific buffs and debuffs and all that type of stuff in order to do all that insane damage. So, if you want to go, oh, DPS supremacy route, then you still need to set up so you have characters that still compound on the one dealing all that damage. So, yeah. And ironically, somebody even had revival characters for their DPS thing. It's not just by people that have fought, but it's also videos I've seen. Like I mentioned, somebody did like 150 million in a video. But, and it was an AoE hit too. But that's the thing. It's all about synergy. It's all about trying to get patience and grind all this stuff, because this is going to take a while. It easily is. Because you'll fly up the levels up to, like, I'd say level 45, but then you'll start slowing down. And it'll probably be a monotonous crawl much later. So, again, patience is the key thing here, because even if you see all this stuff, like, they'll keep throwing stuff in your face, like these limited assists or whatever. Who cares? Ultimately, who cares? Yeah, it gets annoying, but who's saying you have to buy it? And some people say, oh, but it's predatory. It's not predatory if you don't pay for it. There's a whole bunch of people that still sit and say, oh, we'll trick a kid to sit and spend it on this or that, or this or that. That's only if the parents let them actually charge their card, because you can still set it up so your kids can't charge it. But that's something that's completely different, and I'm not trying to open that can of worms anyways. But, like, I will step and say this, like, this game does seem like it has a whole bunch of stuff that it throws at your face, and it can be confusing. You kind of need to take the time to break it down, and honestly, the pacing at which it introduced stuff isn't bad. It's just the fact that you flat through the levels a little bit too quick to digest all of it. That's why I had to go back and take all the stuff with the complex and all that. Like, I didn't even do too much with the dorm. But, there you go in here. And some characters are already getting restored on the dorm. In fact, this is something that Rebless didn't have. Being able to make your own dorm and all that type of stuff. This is something that's a different game I played called Flower and Egg Girl had. Not Rebless. So, only this is had the stats too, so go figure. But, that's just it. It's like, again, patience, patience, patience. You need patience. Like, even trying to refill this, like, I used all my crystal purchase for the refills, and what made Rebless slightly better in that case is that if you, like, of course you had to spend on the game in order to get it, but you can still get VIP levels in Rebless for free. This game, they don't have a quote-unquote VIP system that much, from what I'm seeing. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I haven't noticed much of it, if at all. But going up on that would have let you get more purchases of these little stamina refills. Yeah. But my suggestion is at least try to save up some of these in order to actually buy a few of them each day. You don't have to go through and get all 8, but I'm getting all 8 because I'm trying to, like, you know, beef up my characters and all that. And that's the other reason why I'm, like, slowing down the pace on the storyline, so I can, like, if need be, go into the storyline, get more of these. I got, like, 143 right now. So, like, if I said I wanted, like, 300, 400 or something like that, I can go in the storyline, clear a few chapters, and get some more. Like, I'm trying to hold back on the pacing on that. But anyways, that's the biggest thing. Patience. You definitely need patience. You're not getting a lot of stuff without patience. Like, I even managed to get some of this stuff from an event, too, where it's like, I've already got some SSR combat gear right here. It's all about patience. In fact, I can level these up higher. I don't care, because I only care about the stat bonus every 10 levels, which means I need every 5 of these levels, my permission level, in order to get those. So, there's that. But anyways, that's all for this. More of this will come soon, and like I said, I'll have some gameplay. There's a thing from Syndicate where you can sip and, like, get an idea on that one, because I'll compare it to the thing I've had from Rebless, and you can see both of them. But, that's all for now, guys. More will come soon. Take care, and enjoy what I promised. Gameplay from both of those things.
込むよ。
おかずぞこりゃ
敵。
さあ血も涙もない実験の時間だ。キラキラ
突破口はそこだ。諦めてはいけません。最後まで戦いましょう。
撃つぞ。勝ちだらけの欠陥品は出な
神の槍が勇気、空中の氷に変わる。ただの虫なら燃やしてしまいましょう。八家権限、雷帝降臨。撃つがよい。
当たれ。キラキラ
突破口はそこだ。熱いのにとどろ。
さあ血も涙もない実験の時間だ。勝ちだらけの欠陥品は出直してき。
熱いのにとどろ。諦めてはいけません。最後まで戦いましょう。
渡れ。
神の槍が勇気、空中の氷に変わる。ただの虫なら燃やしてしまいましょう。八家権限、雷帝降臨。
これでわらわの進化を困らせる問題は